Coming from a hardworking immigrant family, it's really common for some parents to have high expectations and overwork their kids. It's usually done with good intentions. Parents just want to set up their children for success. But what happens if there's too much pressure? And how does one cope with the feeling of not living up to their parents' expectations? I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about this case, or maybe at least a little bit about this case. Today we're going to talk about Jennifer Pan, a woman who hired a hitman to murder her own parents. Jennifer's father, Han Pan, and her mother, Bic Ha Pan, were both Vietnamese refugees who moved to Ontario, Canada in search of a better life for their future. After getting married, they had 2 kids, Jennifer Pan and Felix Pan, and their goal, just like most parents, was to set up their children for success. Jennifer's family got really close to the American dream. Her parents worked at an auto part manufacturer where the couple worked hard enough to purchase a house in Markham. Jennifer grew up as a talented figure skater. Her daily life consisted of school, piano lessons, and figure skating, but her figure skating career got cut short after tearing a knee ligament that stopped her from competing. One of Jennifer's dreams was to actually participate in the Olympics for figure skating, but that didn't happen. And after losing the ability to figure skate, Jennifer's parents started to become really strict and started to put more academic pressure on her back. They expected straight A's, and Jennifer was not allowed to go on dates or even school events. They were afraid that she would get distracted from school. According to one of Jennifer's high school friends, her parents were described as tiger parents. From the many stories that we hear, and some of us can even relate, as children of immigrant parents, pressure can cause a lot of mental stress on us, especially when we get raised in an extremely strict household. And we all have different ways to cope with that. But Jennifer's way of coping with that mental stress was to lie. During her senior year of high school, Jennifer failed her calculus class, and her acceptance got revoked from Ryerson University. Afraid of getting in trouble, Jennifer decided to lie to her parents and fake a high school diploma, forged her own report card, and even faked a college admissions letter. And while Jennifer was so-called attending Ryerson University, she would leave home to hang out at random coffee shops or teach piano lessons to pretend that she was still attending class. After a short amount of time, Jennifer continued to lie to her parents, faking another college admission for the University of Toronto. She told her parents that she had won a few scholarships and got invited to the college's pharmacology program. And of course, her parents were extremely proud of her. Jennifer even pushed her luck, tricking her parents into letting her move closer to campus and staying with her friend. However, that was another lie. Jennifer did not attend the college, obviously we knew that, but she also did not move in with a friend. She moved in with her secret boyfriend, a guy named Daniel Wong. Daniel Wong was known as a marijuana dealer, and by this time, they had already been secretly dating each other for 8 years. And to add on to more of Jennifer's lie, Jennifer had told her parents that she started volunteering at the hospital for sick children. At first, Han and Bic believed her. They had no other reason to not, but then their suspicions grew when they noticed that Jennifer didn't have the proper uniform or even an ID badge to prove that she was volunteering there. All this time, they trusted Jennifer by her word, but one day, Bic decided to follow her daughter to the hospital and found out about everything. When Jennifer was caught, both of her parents were upset. Han, the father, wanted to disown Jennifer, but Bic begged for them to compromise. This was when Jennifer was given the ultimatum from her parents. She had the decision to either cut ties and move out of their house, or move back home, break up with her boyfriend, and promise to continue her education. Jennifer picked the latter. She went back to school to get her high school diploma and pretended to break up with her boyfriend, but they were still secretly dating. Once Jennifer turned 24, Daniel actually started to feel suffocated by their secret relationship and decided to call it off. And shortly after the breakup, Daniel starts dating another girl. After hearing the news, Jennifer decides to text Daniel and accuse the new girlfriend of sending multiple men into her house to assault her. Then she continued to claim that the new girlfriend mailed her an envelope with a bullet inside. Although Jennifer chose to stay at home and continue her education, she couldn't deal with the fact that she was restricted from her freedom. She was so desperate to get back into the relationship with Daniel that she even went to an old high school classmate to search for someone to help her with her new plan. This high school classmate introduced Jennifer to a man named Ricardo Duncan, who later finds out that Jennifer was in search of someone to kill her parents. The two met up, and then Jennifer presented her plan to Duncan. She wanted him to kill her father at the parking lot of his workplace. but Duncan refused to take the job and returned the money back to Jennifer. It was unclear to how these two reconnected again, but Jennifer and Daniel got in contact and started to come up with a plan to hire a professional hitman to kill her parents. Daniel, who was a very well-known drug dealer, had a couple of connections, and he decided to contact a couple of people. One of the men involved was named Lenford Crawford. Jennifer was given a SIM card and an iPhone to contact these people without using her regular cell phone. And on November 8 of 2010, the police received a horrifying phone call from a young girl, screaming that her house got broken into and she was tied upstairs.
Where are you, ma'am?
Please just go home. I don't know where my parents are.
Ma'am, calm down. What?
Some people broke into our house and they showed all his money.
Okay, ma'am,
My parents yelling downstairs. Please send help.
ma'am, where are you? What?
Avenue.
Avenue Road.
Yes.
Just a few minutes into the phone call, a male's voice was heard screaming in the background. It was Jennifer's father, Han.
Can you spell the street name for me, please?
Dad? No, you're calling us.
Ma'am. Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Ma'am, I need to know your address. Avenue Road, can you please spell?
In Helen Avenue, my dad just went outside screaming.
Ma'am, can you spell the street address for me, please?
H-E-L-E-N. Someone broke in and I heard shots like pops. I don't know what's happening. I'm tied upstairs.
Jennifer's genuine panic seeps out and tells the dispatcher that her dad was shot and he's running outside of the house and into the street. Earlier that night, Vic arrived home from line dancing class and decided to watch some TV to unwind for the night. Jennifer walks downstairs to say goodnight to her mom while sneaking to the front door to unlock it. Jennifer then walks back up the stairs and pulls out her secondary phone to make a call to a man named David Milvaganum. Shortly after Jennifer's call, David and two other people broke into the home through the front door, holding up guns and demanding all of the money from the house. Han and Vic panic as the three masked men ransack the house. They then drag the married couple downstairs and into the basement where both of them were shot multiple times. Vic was killed immediately while Han survived the attack. And after this horrible home invasion, Jennifer called the police. The police arrived at the scene with Jennifer's upper arm tied to the banister upstairs, and her wrists were bound together.
They tied my upper arm
Yes,
around the banister,
yes.
but my hands were bound together.
So your hands bound together, and this is the arm that's the strings wrapped around against the banister?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now how can you get to the phone? And how do you make the phone call? 911.
Mm-hmm.
And do you talk down like that?
Yes, I'm yelling at the phone like this.
She miraculously survived the house invasion with no wounds, and Han was left severely injured and fell into a coma after he arrived at the hospital. So when the police first pulled Jennifer into questioning, the police treated Jennifer as a victim to the home invasion. But after Jennifer's second interview, the detectives noticed that her story wasn't lining up. It was odd that Jennifer was left alive. A house invasion that involves homicide, it would be risky to leave a witness behind.
So you're telling me that you had no involvement in what happened, meaning not saying how the outcome came, but you had no involvement in any type of illegal activity that would have drawn you or the attention of you to have bad people come to your house looking for large sums of money. You're not involved in this any which way. Because the question obviously stands, Jennifer, is you're upstairs and they're downstairs. Right? So it's a natural concern when, why would they leave you alone? Why would they not do the same to you? You can't answer that question?
The only thing I can say is he said I cooperated.
The robbery wasn't as thorough as they thought because they left a ton of valuables. Around this time, Jennifer was also seen attending her mother's funeral with her brother Felix. Han wakes up from his coma and remembers everything. When Han was interviewed by the police, he told the detectives that he had seen Jennifer walking around during the robbery and even saw her whispering into one of the hitmen's ears. With this information, Jennifer was pulled in again for questioning the third time. In the actual interrogation video, you can see Jennifer actively anxious about answering the detective's questions, and soon confessed that she was involved in the planning of her parents' murder. But she also claimed that she had hired the hitman to kill her and not her parents.
In this case, though, you've made mistakes, okay? And you're involved in this. I know that, okay? There's no question about it, okay? The only question right now is, are you going to keep making mistakes? Are you going to go on the route that you've gone on over the years and try to pretend that things happened that never happened? Okay? Are you going to not face reality here? Okay? You were not truthful to the police in this case. We know that you're involved. We've done our homework, okay? We have to resolve that now here today. Essentially, you've been told to live up to expectations you yourself years ago knew that you could not do, okay? They're taking away Jen. There is no Jen. They took Jen away. The Jen that just wants to be a piano teacher. Why isn't that good enough? Why? Okay. So we're supposed to take the whole family out?
No, just me.
What went wrong?
I don't know.
You gave them the plan for your parents, right? That's all I need to hear.
No,
Jen, you did.
no, and this is not gonna go anywhere because I wanted them to kill me.
Okay, maybe you wanted that to happen as well, okay? And maybe things got so bad that that's how you feel, okay? But your parents were brought into this. At this point in the investigation, okay, I'm going to be arresting you for murder, okay? Also attempted murder and conspiracy to commit murder. Do you understand that? Just have to tell me if you understand those charges. Just say yes or no. Yes. Okay.
Jennifer Pan, Daniel Wong, David Milvagnum, and Lenford Crawford were all sentenced to life with no chances of parole for 25 years. Han and Felix filed a restraining order against Jennifer, and Jennifer was also banned from ever contacting Daniel again. Han also shared his victim impact statement, and he said, "When I lost my wife, I lost my daughter at the same time. I don't feel like I have a family anymore. Some say I should feel lucky to be alive, but I feel like I am dead too." And due to the incident, Han suffers from anxiety attacks, insomnia, and horrible nightmares. He has given up all of his hobbies that once brought him joy. Han has moved closer to live with his relatives nearby and couldn't stand living in his house anymore. He stated that he tried to sell his old home, but no one wants to buy it. Felix, Jennifer's brother, moved to the East Coast in efforts to run away from his sister's impact on the family's reputation. He soon was diagnosed with depression. At the end of Han's statement, he said, "I hope my daughter Jennifer thinks about what has happened to her family and can become a good, honest person someday."